for. Let's talk about the ceasefire. New York Post coming in hot with like some of the most biased reporting that, that I have heard in just ages. Can you pull this up? I want to read a little bit.
Hamas won't give up arms or control Gaza despite agreeing to Trump deal.
Just ridiculous. Okay, Hamas appeared to renege on key demands of Trump's ceasefire deal just hours after the world celebrated the end of the Gaza war, with the top official saying the terror group will not give up its arms or control over the Gaza Strip. Spokesman claimed Monday that Hamas has no need to abide by every word of Trump's 20-point peace plan, including calls for the terror group to lay down its arms. First of all, okay, I'll get to the first of all in a minute. He said, we do not need to limit ourselves to the Israeli terms and definitions related to weapons. We will not be captives to Israeli terms or demands. This is one of the focal points of the struggle in the next stage after the cessation of the aggression in the Gaza Strip. And his longstanding position will be that it will neither give up its weapons nor cede governance over the Gaza Strip until a path is laid out for Palestinian statehood. So they never agreed to give up their arms. And what we're talking about here are small arms that would only really affect Israeli forces if they were in the Gaza Strip.
Right.
They cannot give up all of their arms. They obviously can't do that because we have been in this ceasefire situation before. This exact thing happened in January 2025. And what happened? Has Israel ever abided by a ceasefire arrangement? No. So Hamas is looking at this. The people of Gaza are looking at this and they're like, we're just supposed to give up what little arms we have to defend? Absolutely not, because that leaves them completely vulnerable to the completion of the ethnic cleansing. And Israel has already violated the ceasefire. No surprise there. Multiple times, I believe.
Multiple times, yeah.
Killed multiple people. So how do you distract from the fact that Israel has killed multiple people in violation of the ceasefire? You whine about Hamas keeping their small arms.
Their small arms, I know. Can you pull up 3?
By the way, every red-blooded American should be in support of Hamas having their weapons.
Of course.
Obviously, like we believe in the right to self-determination. We believe in the right to bear arms. So I believe in the right for Hamas to have AK-47s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy peasy.
We're not talking nukes here. Good Lord. Can you pull up 3? So Israel violates ceasefire early morning hours in Gaza. Israeli forces abduct 15 Palestinians northeast of Rafah, while heavy artillery strikes in eastern Gaza City. And I believe this was the 4th violation of the ceasefire to date. But Trump has said some interesting things about, let's pull up 2. There was a clip of this, but I'll just be quick. So speaking with reporters on Tuesday, Trump said, if they don't disarm, by that he means Hamas, we will disarm them and it will happen quickly and perhaps violently, but they will disarm. Do you understand me? And it should take place in a reasonable period of time. So there's no time limit on this. And he's strongly suggesting that the American government is going to go in and we're going to pursue some sort of military strike on Palestine. It's like, what is happening right now?
Well, haven't we already deployed 200 troops to the Gaza Strip, from what I understand, CENTCOM people? And it's like, you know, as this is all coming down, I'm looking at this, and Sam, I'm sure that you were thinking the same thing I'm thinking. It's like, hello, we got another USS Liberty incident brewing here.
Oh yeah,
we're going to send 200 troops.
You know, and this is on the day before 9/11, September 10th, 2001. The U.S. Army actually put out a report that was addressing, you know, United States forces in the area and said that there was a threat of Israel attacking them in a false flag attack. Said Mossad was ruthless and it was capable of pulling off an attack and making it look like the Arabs did it. That report came out from the U.S. Army literally the day before 9/11 that Israel had this capability to pull off false flags and make it look like Arabs did it.
Yeah.
Great.
And that was at the time, again, the context was of U.S. troops being there in the Middle East. So, I mean, that's always going to be looming. We know what happened in Beirut in 1983, you know, where Israel had, at the very least, foreknowledge of the attack on the Marine Corps barracks there. At the very least, it was foreknowledge, and they let it happen. So there's a lot of precedent for this. It puts us in a very precarious situation.
Yes.
And by the way, I thought that Israel was there as our outpost to do the lifting and the fighting for us so that we wouldn't have to, right? Isn't that the whole reason that we have them there, right? Allegedly, Israel's there to fight our battles there in the Middle East for us. So what? now we're going to go fight the battle that Israel's there to fight for
Right,
us.
right.
Well, I mean, Israel lost. This whole thing has been a massive L for the Israelis. Their goals were to absolutely eradicate and crush Hamas. They didn't do that. They had the goal of regime change in Iran. They weren't able to do that. They weren't able to clear the Palestinians out of Gaza. They weren't able to do that. So basically, every strategic objective that the Israelis had in Gaza, in the Middle East, they have taken a fat L on all of that. So,
except for annihilating hundreds of thousands of Palestinians.
Yes,
they
of course.
did achieve that goal.
True.
We've heard estimates up to 400,000. Of course, we'll never get the real number of Palestinians dead, but it is incredible to listen to centrists and moderate right-wingers talk about how this is the end of the conflict. Like they have no historical knowledge of how Israel behaves in these situations. I mean, Netanyahu is not going to allow for statehood. So what are we doing here?
By the way, did you see? So today was supposed to be Netanyahu's date in court for his corruption trial.
I have bronchitis.
Where is I got to pull up the tweet.
He invoked the Holocaust. He's a victim of the Holocaust and got out of testifying.
It was AF.
Yeah, here it is. It's Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu has been diagnosed with non-threatening bronchitis, leading to the court to truncate his corruption trial testimony in Tel Aviv. So the Holocaust is the only thing standing between Bibi Netanyahu and prison.
Man.
Wow.
Do you guys think that Trump is just swinging his dick as he always does? Or do you think that he would actually invade Palestine to disarm Hamas of small arms?
I don't think that.
It's such an unpopular position. I just can't imagine that he would actually do this.
Listen, the amount of people around Trump, whether it's Ratcliffe at the CIA or if it's Rubio at the State Department, these people are all forming an echo chamber around Trump. You're the greatest president ever. You're amazing. You brought peace to the Reed Bubba. You know, they're gassing him up. You know, I don't think Trump is thinking too far outside of his own ego. So I think if his cabinet leads him to believe that it would be a popular thing for him to do, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't do it.
What do you think, Sam?
I think most likely is there's going to be a little bit of a break while Israel catches its breath. And then when Israel's ready to go again, they're going to go and we're going to supply them and fund them and back them up again. I think perhaps there's a possibility that we will actually bomb Gaza. You know, Trump loves to use those bombers. He loves the display of air power. In his speech, if you listen to his speech to the Knesset the other day, he bragged about all these wonderful, awesome, cutting-edge, world-leading weapons that we have that are, you know, we don't want to use them and they're terrible, but, you know, we have them. And, you know, he really enjoyed sending the B-2s to Iran. Is it outside the realm of possibility that he would send some bombers or some American forces to go bomb Gaza? I suppose not. But again, like, it's easier to just give the bombs to Israel and have them do it.
Yeah, seriously.
What's been going on? So
let's play this clip.
That's what I think probably will happen. Is Israel just going to take a breather, then go in on their time when they want to go back in?
Yep, I agree.
All right, let's take a look at his speech.
But the world is loving Israel again. And I said to Bibi, you know, the world is big and it's strong. And Ron, ultimately, the world wins. And we don't have to worry about that now. But there was getting to be a period of time over the last few months, you know, the world wanted peace and Israel wanted peace. Everybody did. Everybody did. And what a victory it's been, right? What a victory it's been. If you would have gone on for 3-4 more years, keep fighting, it was getting bad. It was getting heated. The timing of this is brilliant. And I said, Bibi, you're going to be remembered for this far more than if you kept this thing going, kill. It would be it would not be the same. And I just want to congratulate you for having the courage to say, that's it, we've won. And now let's enjoy our lives and let's rebuild Israel and make it stronger and bigger and better than it's ever been before. We're going to do that. Took a lot of guts.
Wow.
I'm glad that you grabbed that clip because I didn't tell you to grab that clip, but that was one of the 2 clips that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, we got to
Like,
talk about. First of all,
I
what
mean,
the fuck is
the
he talking
roast
about?
energy there, the roast energy in the room. Like instead of being, you're going to be remembered for peace instead of the guy that's going kill, kill, kill.
Right.
Like,
I mean, of course, like
right?
half of it was bullshit, as you know, as it usually is with Trump. We have quantified the popularity of Israel, and it is at a historic low right now.
Oh yeah.
Historic low. I mean, I'm seeing some 4D chess theories. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but there was a roast element to that I appreciate. Although mostly I'm just embarrassed for Trump. Every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, this is embarrassing.
It was cringe. It was definitely cringe. There were 2 or 3 or 4 moments throughout that where he sort of goes off script and he improvises and was like kind of speaking people up, but it came across as like he was fumbling it. Like when he was talking up Miriam Adelson, we'll probably get to that.
Oh,
So
we'll get to it
on that, but he kind of put his foot in his mouth there. He kind of put his foot in his mouth here, talking about Netanyahu. He kind of did that. I got a little cringy.
It did. And it is, there was this moment. I don't know if it's in the outline because I haven't looked at the outline yet, as usual. But there was this moment where he's like, hey, Bibi, this corruption. Why don't you give him a pardon? And it's like,
I forgot to prep that clip.
yeah, see, it's like, why don't you give this man a pardon?
Give this man
and
a
it's
pardon.
like, bro, you're like literally just like getting in front of the whole world. Like, yeah, this guy's a filthy criminal. Pardon him.
To be fair, we did play that on Monday.
We did play that on Monday.
Let's watch what he has to say about bringing the embassy to Jerusalem. This is clip 5.
Miriam, stand up, please.
Is this the right clip?
She really is. I mean, she loves this country.
Nope. This is 6. Let's play 5.
This is 6?
Sorry.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry,
My
guys.
apologies.
So much to talk
Haven't
about with the
had-
Adelsons.
Oh, see, they were right next to each other. That's why I missed it. It's okay. See, we haven't had any technical difficulties in a very, very long time on this show. We've been doing very good. Here.
Broken promises from
Let's
many
play to
other
205.
American presidents. You know that. They kept promising. I never understood it until I got there. There was a lot of pressure put on these presidents. It was put on me too, but I didn't yield to the pressure. But every president for decades said, we're going to do it. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem.
God, he looks terrible. I love it when he does
What's he doing? It's like he's doing a bit. Like I thought I was watching a Dean Martin roast almost.
Isn't that right, Miriam? Look at Miriam. She's back there. Stand up, Miriam. Stand up. Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. They'd call me. He'd call me. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I could think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She's got $60 billion in the bank. $60 billion. And I think she's saying no more.
Bruh.
And she loves Israel, but she loves it, and they would come in, and her husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him. He was a very aggressive, very supportive of me. And he'd call up, can I come over and see you? I say, Sheldon, I'm the president of the United States. It doesn't work that way. He'd come in, we would do. But they were very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things to ever happen to Israel.
Unbelievable. Did everybody count how many ovations he got?
There were several. But did you count how many people were waving American flags?
Yeah,
she
really,
really
man.
is. I mean, she.
Let's just go right to 6 and then we can talk about these.
Yes, that was...
These Adelson clips, man.
They're rough.
They
rough.
are, it's
It was a Thomas Massey.
It's rough. Yeah, it's from Thomas Massey.
Miriam, stand up, please. She really is. I mean, she loves this country. She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That means that might mean Israel, I must say. Miriam,
Bro.
Oh my gosh. Why would he do this? Okay, one theory is that he is slipping into some sort of old man dementia that is centering around his life that was, super myopic, solipsistic. So maybe it's that. But also, I'm hearing some 4D chess theories that he's trying to put them on blast, which I just don't. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Are we still trying to sell 4D chess?
I'm
all
hearing
these
it. I'm
years
still hearing
later?
it. People are like, it was just too confrontational, and he was just trying to point to how much influence Jews have. I'm like, listen, no. All right, we're not still doing this, guys.
No, I don't think so. Because I have seen the people on X who are like, Donald Trump is under death threat. This is the only way that he can communicate that they're in blah, blah, blah. And it's
Every
just like,
president is under death threat.
yeah. I mean, everyone since JFK anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he admitted it. Every president's been under pressure to do this. I've been under pressure to do it,
And I did it.
And what was that pressure exactly, Donald? What
Yeah.
can you describe the nature of that pressure and from who it was coming from? I'd like to know more about that.
No.
But yeah, if you listen to this whole speech, and I listened to the whole thing. I didn't want to, but I knew we were going to talk about it today, so I listened to the whole thing. And it was, I don't know, about an hour long.
Wow.
And he went around to many people in the room and just praised them and praised them and praised them. Jared, Ivanka, Netanyahu, the general, what's his bucket from the United States. I forget his name already, but just systematically around Miriam Adelson, around the room. He went around the room and was just praising people. Steve Witkoff was another one, got a lot of praise. And so, no, this wasn't like him, like, hey, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, 4D chess. I'm going to throw these people under the bus. He spent the greater portion of the hour praising these people. My interpretation is your first explanation, Rebecca. This is an old guy who's speaking off the cuff. And, we've seen this from old people before. Like you see it in church sometimes or other gatherings, an old guy giving a speech. He speaks off the cuff, he gets off script, and he accidentally kind of puts his foot in his mouth or says something boomerish, and that's kind of awkward or cringe. It's just what they do when they go off script. That's what I interpreted here. He went off script. He was trying to be, positive and put in his own thoughts. And
Right.
he just kind of stuck his
Also,
foot
he
in his
seems
mouth,
to be increasingly concerned with his mortality and his position in heaven.
He
And
keeps talking about
He keeps
death.
talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think that he believes that the more he elevates Israel and the Jewish people, the likelier it is that he secure his place in heaven.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's the
He's surrounded
evangelical
by
position.
Christian people who believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right?
like
You
Paula
know.
White.
But I still, I'm still kind of in the dementia camp here because it's like, how are you going to get up on stage and say, oh, they've pressured everybody. They put so much pressure, but I didn't cave into the pressure. I just did exactly what they were pressuring me to do.
Yeah.
Like, what
You sound like
planet
exactly
are
that
you
you caved
living
into
on,
pressure.
Don?
Exactly what it
Like,
sounds like.
this is just...
If you were in the 4D chess camp, this clip will dispel any theories that you have in that regard.
I sucked them into my trap by giving them everything that they wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
I have submitted your nomination to be the first non-Israeli recipient of the Israel Prize, Israel's highest award. As to that other prize, just a question of time, you'll get it. But I want you to get the Israel Prize, our highest award, to our greatest friend.
So humiliating.
Unbelievable. Was the
So
Israel
humiliating.
Prize. And of course, by the way, like, do we have the readout on how many Jews have won the Nobel Peace Prize? It's like
Isn't it like 70 or 80%?
disproportionate.
Yeah.
There is
Absolutely
some high
disproportionate.
percentage,
Yeah. It's.
I'm going to
it's-
ask Grok.
And
ask
did you
Grok.
hear him? We'll make that happen too. Don't worry. We'll get you that too. That's coming.
Right. He's not beating the allegations.
Is it just
all
the
of
Nobel
this-
Peace Prize or all Nobel Prizes?
Nobel. Just all Nobel.
All Nobel
prizes.
prizes. I think that they've something like 30 or 20 or 30 or 40% of, I think, the ones in medicine and physics.
Anything over
Science.
2% of all of the prizes. Would
Oh, I was
be-
way off. It's 22%. But
Well-
in science and economic sciences, it's 45%.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. That doesn't surprise me at all. 2% of the population getting 50% of all of the awards. Makes me wonder. And of course, with this whole thing, it's like, when we watched it on Monday, go back to that episode with Lucas Gage, episode 83, because like our our reactions to these clips were like actually spontaneous. I think it was the first time that all of us were watching the clips, and it's just like everything that we have been alleging on this program for months and months now, things that we've been saying before this program started for 10 years now. Basically, they're admitting all of it. At
they
this point,
exclude
openly.
secular Jews in this.
Oh,
So it's
even
100%.
higher. It's even higher. It's definitely even higher. Oh my goodness. This is unbelievable. And, you know, it's not going to last. This is not going to last.
Of course it's not going to last. This is going to be such a grave embarrassment for the Trump administration.
I've been seeing these Christian Zionist ministers, too, coming out. They can't make a deal that gives up 1 inch of their land. And, of course, to them, the land is Greater Israel, which includes the Sinai Peninsula, parts of Syria, Turkey, Iraq, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. I mean, these people have not repudiated their ambitions for Greater Israel. And so ultimately, this is going to continue. The populace in Israel has been indoctrinated to believe that all Arabs are Hamas, that all Arabs are terrorists. So nothing has been done on that front. So it is literally just a matter of time. And of course, I don't have the tweets to pull up, but the day that Trump went into Israel, did you see all of the billboards and banners calling Donald Trump, Cyrus the Great has returned? And of course, what did Cyrus the Great do when, you know, in biblical times? He helped the Jews go back to Israel and build the temple and reinstate blood sacrifice. And so what are we seeing from all of these Chabad people, from all of these Orthodox people, from people like Adam King, right? Like, they want to reinstate the temple. They want to demolish Al-Aqsa, Al-Quds, and build the third temple.
Yeah,
and
of course.
usher in the fucking Antichrist.
And
that's what they want to do.
At this point, why would the Palestinian people be amenable to some kind of ceasefire when it's been violated so many times in the past, and their population and their cities have been decimated already, and they're not going anywhere? So what incentive do they have? We already know they'll die for the cause. What incentive do they have to be like, okay?
I mean, I think that they are, in a way, diplomatically taking away these cards that Israel has to play. And so the moment that things like, I mean, we opened the program talking about the ceasefires, like everybody is hyper aware of what Israel is doing over there. So the moment that Israel attempts to conjure up conflict there again, the population is lost. The world is already turned on them. And so I think that Hamas, I don't think they're stupid. I think that they are looking at the situation and they are systematically removing cards from the Israelis' hands and forcing them into this position where, are you going to accept a two-state solution or not? And of course, the last president of Israel that was on board with the two-state solution, the Kahanists, the terrorist group from the Koch party in Israel, they assassinated their own. So,
and Netanyahu has said point blank that the two-state solution is
off the table.
It's just absolutely off the table.
Yeah.
So they're not going to negotiate with one another in a meaningful way. The ceasefire is meaningless. I suppose I'm happy that there has been some sort of pause on this mass killing event, but there is no reason for anybody to think that this is a serious agreement that's going to be adhered to by Israel. There's no reason for anybody to think that. I cannot believe I'm hearing this from people on the right.
Well, some people
Fell for it again. Get your Fell for it again awards ready. I see you got them on your book.
At antelopehill.com. You can get a Fell for It Again award. Where is the focus? There it is. Fell for It Again award. You can get those. Wear them proudly. Because if you think that this is over, you're retarded.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it should have a subheading. You're retarded. Good Lord.